We want to ask Mr. Andrew that do you believe a couple who are forced to get married can have a true romance after this arrangement? And the second is, what made you decide to get married with your wife?
Okay. Thank you. Good questions. So yes, I think historically it was quite common for people to fall in love with one another after they got married. Yeah. So before they got married, then oftentimes they didn't really know each other very well. Maybe they had only met once or twice. In some cases, yes, they would have the opportunity to go through what's called a courtship. So in other words, it'll be arranged by their parents, but they could still get to know each other, for some time before getting married. And in fact, in some cases, they could actually decide not to get married. It's like, okay, our parents want us to get married, but we don't want to get married. And so, if you really hated the other person, then you still had some freedom to not get married. In some cases, not always. But probably it was unlikely that you would have much romantic love for the person, even if you had got to know them for maybe a few months or something. Simply because the whole emphasis is on, it's for our parents, it's for the sake of our families, it's for the continuation of our family line. And so, yeah, probably there wasn't that much emphasis on, let's really get to know each other and try and fall in love. No. But that's something that often actually happened afterwards. And it's like, well, I mean, you're spending all that time together. If you spend enough time with someone who you don't hate, then you are sharing everything together, I think there's a good chance that you could fall in love with them. And so it wasn't always the case. Oftentimes, they never would have the same kind of romantic feelings as we might today. But it was something which was still quite common. And I personally, wouldn't have wanted that. My dad was actually fairly keen to be, my dad, my uncle, my older cousin, they all sort of tried to matchmake me, but it never worked out. And so yes, I chose to propose to my wife, and I think the reason why is firstly because I did feel that chemistry. So, having a sense of being in love with someone made it easier for me to make that decision. Because in fact, for most of my life, before I got married, I didn't actually want to get married. I saw marriage as being something which, is very limiting on one's freedom. And so I had no special interest in getting married previously. It wasn't until I met my wife that I really wanted to get married. I think she made me want to get married because she really made me a better person. So I felt that I was a better man as a result of being with this woman, and also because we got on really well together. We had a similar values, similar interests, similar sense of humor. Later on, we found that we enjoyed watching the same Korean drama, and so actually life became not hugely more difficult. It was a challenge, but it wasn't a huge challenge for us getting married. She made it a lot easier than I expected. So marriage can be pretty bad. Marriage can be pretty difficult. But in her case, then she made it